It is a good afternoon. We are back still for the same course, biology practicals. We are live streaming, and this is in talk online. Before we go any further, I want to introduce to you a certain school management site. Actually, I'll talk about it with time. Let's first wait for some members to join. We are waiting for some number. Don't leave yet. We are waiting for some number. Don't leave yet. I want us to go through that practical biology practical item, sample 1. We are waiting for some few members to join. We know Matilda is on. You're most welcome, Matilda. I'm so grateful. So Matilda, you can be copying that item as we wait for some few members to join. It is Awino Matilda. For the teachers and school administrators on the platform, I would like to introduce to you the school management system called LIPO systems. When you go to Google and type in lipo.site, you'll get to see it. It is a school management system that does many things, among which there is score management. It scores your data about, it stores the scores for the learners. It automatically generates any kind of report you want because you can instruct it. The system can manage your finance. That is, when you feed in it the amount a learner must pay and the amount the learner has paid, it can generate a receipt automatically with the balance and the amount paid. And it keeps that information so that it can print it even on the report card. So it can manage the finance. Still, this system has sections where all the administrators can watch from the head teacher. It has a section where the head teacher manages the school. It has a section where the director of studies manages the school. There is a section where the deputy head teacher manages the part of the work he does, the class teachers, and then the subject teachers too. It is called lipo.site. It is a system of lipo systems. So you can look for this system. It is a good one. I've tested it too. Actually, you can reach us through the MTO online number 0703 2782 31. You can get to know more about lipo systems with time. I was buying some time to have some members on the platform and for you to go through the item. Welcome, rank. Florence is on. Nakawes Jemima is on. Nachiwala Florence is on. Welcome all those members. Not to be too wordy, let's try to read this item and try to respond to it. So the item is RBT Investments has launched a juice extract beverage from another fruit other than the usual one. This means they were making juice from a certain fruit. So now they would like to make another juice from another fruit. The quality assurance manager of this company, RBT, has proposed that the juice must contain more reducing sugars. So this is a hint on the practical we may do than vitamin C. So the fruit this someone need must contain more reducing sugars than the vitamin C. Since the juice, your father said that this juice is to be used by hypoglycemic patients. The word hypoglycemic means those patients, those people whose blood sugars drops easily. And this is a medical condition and deadly, because whenever the sugar levels in blood drops below normal, you may die unknowing. So these kinds of people with hypoglycemia show certain symptoms like shivering. I know you covered this when we were looking at carbohydrates. So the manager has provided two fruits. Fruit A, so this is fruit A, provided by the quality assurance manager, and then fruit B. And this fruit is also provided by the quality assurance manager. Let me think, we have all seen these fruits. And these fruits were provided to the company chemistry team. The item is assuming that you are one of the chemistry team members, and you are the head of the chemistry department has chose or selected to carry out the investigations. When you look at this question, it's more talking about reducing sugar and vitamin. It is talking about certain chemicals in the fruits. So when you look at this scenario, it is almost instructing or directing us to the physiology part of the biology practicals. And this is investigational biology. And they are also telling you that you carry out an investigation to help the quality assurance manager come out with the best choice of the specimen to use. So this means you're going to carry out investigations on these two fruits, A and B, to know which of these fruits contain juice that has more reducing sugars than vitamin C. To know this, it means you must have carried out certain food tests, food testing procedures. We must know them. And they have been specific that you're going to investigate reducing sugars and vitamin C. To catch time or to catch up with time, we can start on our response. We saw the steps for responding to such items. I want us to be precise. I'm going to do the first part of the practical. In practicals, we do not much need the apparatus to touch the apparatus given first. We greatly need the key point or the key step for carrying out practicals is the planning step. If you fail to plan well, you cannot conduct a practical correctly. The practical will not come out. So the planning should be given enough time, because from the planning, it's where you will get the results to fail. So you cannot start by carrying out an investigation before you plan it. Where will you put the results? So say in the response, since it is physiology, we stated the aim first. We started with physiology. We shall also go into the anatomy part of the practical. So we stated the aim. I didn't want to give you this aim. Basing on the scenario, let us try to put some aim you could give basing on the scenario. So I request my camera director to transfer it to the scenario. Try to get the aim. I want to write the aim you're giving me. That's all I want to give. The other ones I want to edit. Please text them in the comment section. Welcome, God Pro. Natural Florence is saying, Adini fee. We don't get you well. Florence, come again. And then Jamima Nakawes, thanks a lot. Always grateful for your appreciations. Ranks, we welcome you already. I want the aims we can use. If you have any, type them in the comment section. Extract aims. We said the aim is the reason for why you are carrying out the experiment. Maybe we shall go through them with them. Let me try to give you mine. So, to me, according to me and the scenario, I would give my aim as an experiment to investigate which specimen, because they called them specimens, on A and B has more reducing sugars but less vitamin C. According to me, this could be my aim. An experiment to investigate which specimen on A and B has more reducing sugars but less vitamins. According to me, what is your view, please? You at least must have typed something. Is Zahara on? Timothy, we don't see your aim. Flores, we don't see your aim. Jemima, rank, God Pro. Matilda, we don't see the aim. Please type some aim. Supplement, please. Maybe you are still typing. Let's continue. So, my hypothesis, why am I taking this as my aim? Because they are the key guidelines that we are given in this scenario. It was the target to why the quality assurance manager sent the specimens. So I'm bringing in the chemistry they need us to carry out. I'm bringing out another key part, which are the specimens on which the chemistry must be carried out. Let me think I'm clear to everyone. So I've included the two key things in the aim. So I can even connect it to the scenario that we need to help the manager to make the best choice of the specimen. So the hypothesis, I may choose one of the two. So Jemima has an idea here to find out which fruit contains more reducing sugars than vitamin C. But the question is not talking about there is a fruit somewhere. Yes, that is great, Jemima. Zahara Nantam is to find out which specimen of A and B has more reducing sugars than vitamin C, so as to fit the best choice of the company. That is also another great aim. So I think the two are all correct. They are in the same space of responses. So the hypothesis we said may be a correct or a true hypothesis or a null hypothesis. So we may decide to pick one of the specimens and, for example, say specimen A has more reducing sugars than vitamin C compared to specimen B. So you have to compare the two specimens. So I think, to me, that is the hypothesis. So you keep giving the views as we continue. Natural Florence is saying an experiment to investigate specimen A and B in order to know of the two specimens which has more reducing sugars than the other in order to help the manager. So that is true. But we should try as much as possible to give an aim that is not having more than 12 words. So these two must be too precise. So in Florence, in your statements you're using, there are some words you're repeating. Try to, as much as possible, summarize the aim, but with the keywords, because they mark the keywords. The key things in the in the experiment. We are investigating specimens A and B to find out what? To test the amount of reducing sugars and vitamin C. So when we try to count the words 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, we have more words, but in space, in range. We want to have an aim of over 30 words. All we need is to include the key things, what you're investigating on, and which specimens are you investigating. To find out what. Those things must be included in the aim. To move on, after stating the hypothesis, we usually give the variables. Excuse me. Yes, it is a qualitative analysis, but let us try to give the variables. So we shall give the variable and then its description. We shall start with the controlled variables. For the controlled variables, what are we going to keep constant in this experiment so as we can get results? So one, we are going to look at the amount of extract used. We are going to make sure that if we use 2 cubic centimeters of extract A, we should also use 2 cubic centimeters of extract B, not to vary the experiment by the amount of the extract used. We are going to make sure that we use the same reagents. So if we are to test for reducing sugars, we shall not use Fehling's reagent on extract A and then Benedict's solution on extract B. We have to maintain the reagents used on each extract. So I think those two are enough. And then what shall we vary? As what shall we take as the independent variables? What are we going to use? We shall only vary the extract used in each set of the experiment. When we start by using extract A to check for the reducing sugars, in the second set we shall use extract B to test for reducing sugars. So I'm only going to vary the solutions used in each set of the experiment. And then what we shall expect as the dependent, since this is qualitative analysis, is color of the solution obtained on using the reagents. That is one. This is for reducing sugars. And two, to determine the amount of reducing of vitamin C in each extract, we usually determine the number of drops added to each drops of DCPIP added to each extract. So then the amount of DCPIP in terms of drops determines which of the extracts or which of the solutions or food solutions has more reducing sugars than the other. So this is crucial. These will be our dependent variables. These will be the results. And these are the variables we expect to use. I want to move to a pace that everyone can withstand. We haven't used any apparatus, but we are learning how to carry out investigations, practical investigations. This is part of practical. Without planning, you cannot use the apparatus. We have them. They are right here. We carried all of the apparatus. We have them. So we have the apparatus, but we currently can't use them. We have a number of them here, but we can't use them before we know how to plan in the right way. Let me think I'm clear. I don't want to leave anyone. That's why I'm moving at this slow pace. Are we together? So, Maria Kagoda, sir, I appreciate your work. I'm also so grateful for the appreciation. Let me think. We are moving. Men are appreciating the work, but they don't double tap in the screen. To move on, after the variables, we always give requirements. We are trying to plan together, and you say, to me, my learners always make a table separating the apparatus from the materials. So the apparatus to use, we said we always specify the number of whatever we are to use. We have specimens. These are the specimens. There is no way we can carry out food tests on these solid specimens. We have to turn them to solutions. So to obtain juice from this specimen A, we must cut it. But it could be better to use another cutting instrument to cut specimen B. So, to me, among the requirements, I would use 2 knives or any other cutting instruments. Do you think I'm using a language you understand? Yes, we shall squeeze the juice, but where shall we put the juice? Shall we be squeezing the juice directly into the test tubes or to a certain temporary reservoir? That means we shall also need 2 beakers. And these 2 beakers will be used to act as the temporary reservoirs for the juice extracted from the 2 specimens. One in a certain beaker and the other in another beaker. We shall need how many test tubes? We need to carry out the reducing sugar test on specimen A and B. Those are 2. We shall need a test on a vitamin C test on A and B. So far, those are 4 test tubes, I think. But to make it right, we cannot carry out boiling. Remember, the reducing sugar test, there is a procedure of boiling. It is not right to boil using a test tube. It would have been better to boil using a boiling tube. So we may need 2 test tubes and 2 boiling tubes. Remember, we always, no, this is number of drops of the extract juice. So remember, as we correct this, number of drops of extract juice added to this CPIP. If we remember very well, let's collect this. Remember, we've said that we need boiling in the reducing sugar test. So we also need a heat source. All of these ones I'm writing cannot be part of the product. We need a test tube holder at the heating procedure. We shall need 2 droppers. one dropper to transfer drops of extract A to this CPI pin 1 test tube, and the second dropper will be for transferring this CPIP, solution extract, this extract B to a certain CPI solution in another test tube. So these are some of the apparatus we may need. You can think of more. For the materials, we shall need Benedict's test, Benedict's solution. We shall also need this CPIP solution for vitamin C test. We shall need this extracts from A and B. To me, those could be the requirements for my experiment. Remember, I said these are called process skill practicals. So let me think I'm clear. There is a question from there is an aim from Sanya. She's saying that to find out the specimen with more reducing sugars than vitamin C. Which is specimen? Be specific. Are we supposed to give the materials and apparatus with their uses? No. We are going to define the uses of those materials, or those apparatus, of those requirements in general, in the procedures we are to give. To move on, let us try to give procedures and see if we can really try the procedures. The procedures according to me would be as follows. I will start with specimen A. I'm comparing two things. So I do procedures for one, and then my last procedure will be referring to the examiner that I repeated all of those procedures I carried out on a certain specimen on the other. So I'll start with specimen A, and by saying that using a knife, specimen A was cut into two halves. And the halves squeezed to obtain the juice into one of the beakers. So this means I used one of the knives to cut specimen into two halves. The halves were squeezed to obtain juice, and the juice was put in the beaker. I'm trying to give the procedures I carried out. We write everything, the procedures in a reported format. Let's move on. We didn't include the measuring cylinder, but it may be crucial here. How many? Let's use 4. Let's use 3 measuring cylinders. 3 measuring cylinders. Why am I using 3? One will be used to transfer a certain volume of extract A into a boiling tube, and the other will be used to transfer DCPIP. We shall see. Using a measuring cylinder, um, 2.0 cubic centimeters of the extract A. Now I'm defining the extract that I'll use in the results of the extract A. Actually, I should define it here. Extract A into a boiling tube. I'm now giving the procedures that I found when carrying out this procedure. When carrying out this investigation. 2.0 cubic centimeters of Benedict solution was added to extract A, and the mixture boiled. Do you think I'm giving everything clearly as expected? Now, these are the procedures for carrying out reducing sugar test. We transfer a certain volume of the food test into a boiling tube, and then add equal amount of the reagent, and then we boil. To move on, the observations made after boiling were recorded, and their corresponding deductions. I'm giving a sample response, not the final response to the scenario. Just a referential response. So I'm giving that the results were recorded. Now this is for the reducing sugar test. How about the vitamin C test? We say, let's say, to 1 cubic centimeter of this CPIP in a test tube, was added extract A drop wise until no further change. So for vitamin C test, we always add this CPIP first in the test tube and then follow it with drop-wise addition of the food solution. The food solution now is the extract A we are talking of, obtained from specimen A. Still here, the observation in terms of number of drops, actually, let's change from this word. Let's leave it until no further change. The observation for this vitamin C test is on whenever we add this CPIP to a solution, the color of this CPIP changes from blue to colorless if vitamin C is present. If the number of drops added are less to change the color of this CPIP, it implies a high amount of vitamin C present in the food solution. So the amount of this solution, of vitamin C in a solution is determined by the number of drops of this food solution added to change the color of this CPIP. So it's the observation I'm going to give here. The number of drops, because they talked about amount, comparing amount of vitamin C. So one of the two will have more vitamin C and the other will have less vitamin C. So this will be determined by the number of drops of the extract added to this CPI. The number of drops used to turn to turn this CPIP from blue to colorless were recorded and the corresponding deduction. Let me hope I'm clear. So we get a knife, we cut the specimen. I had my knife here. It's right here. When I cut this specimen like this, so this is the specimen. I cut it into equal halves and then squeeze each half. Squeeze each half to obtain juice from it. So I think you see, I'm obtaining juice that I will use on the vitamin C and reducing sugar test. So it's this juice I will use on the food tests I will need to carry out. So this one becomes the extract for specimen B. I do the same on the other specimen A. We may not use the specimen, the apparatus right now. Let's first plan further. So after obtaining the juice or the extract, I carried out the reducing sugar test first by transferring 2 cubic centimeters of extract A to a boiling tube. And then on it, I added 2.0 cubic centimeters of benedict solution. We add equal amounts and then boil the mixture. I recorded the observations I made after boiling and the corresponding deduction. I repeat, I did it, I carried out the vitamin C test by using a measuring cylinder to transfer 1 cubic centimeter of DCPIP into a test tube and then add extract 8 dropwise until there is no further change. This will be the procedures I will follow when carrying out the practical. They will be the procedures I will follow. When I plan better, the results will be very simple and the experiment will be very simple. It will not even need an hour to do this practical. It is a brief one. Only if the practical needs intubation. And we still don't intubate for more than 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Even the 45 minutes are too many. 30 are enough. And then what I do, I repeat the same procedures excuse me. So using the remaining apparatus, I'm showing you that I will not use the other apparatus I've used. I'm now using the remaining apparatus. So it's upon the examiner to go back and check which apparatus I've been using throughout my experiment. So using the remaining apparatus, the above procedures were repeated using specimen B and extract B. And it's extract B. That's enough with the procedures. This procedure is enough to show the examiner that I repeated the same things, but this time not using specimen A, using specimen B. And I've also shown him that from specimen B, I obtained extract B. So in my results, I'm free to use extract B to represent everything I need about specimen B. Let me think I'm flowing a rate that everyone is following. So I'm entertaining questions before I proceed. From Fiona, what is a turbid solution? A turbid solution is simply going to be not only milk, but any solution that is thicker or that is more viscous than water. And in most cases, it is a colored solution that is more viscous than water. That is it. Even Zahra tried to respond to you. What is the difference between a turbid solution and a precipitate? Not all turbid solutions are precipitates. A precipitate is a solution that is, yes, thicker than water. Not all turbid solutions have solids in them. But a precipitate is that solution with solids suspended in it. So that is it. To cut the story short, let us give the results. You think of any risk and mitigation. Think of any risk and mitigation. Think of any risk and mitigation. Sorry for that. The network is poor here. The network is disturbing us. cut the story short, meant to be too-word. Catch up with the network. You'll give the receipt, so you make a table and mitigations. So you said we make a table, give the receipt and its corresponding mitigation. So we may talk of bands as a result of contact with the heat source. And these bands always result in tones, and hence the impact is pain. Mitigation, being careful when carrying out the procedure. So for the results, this is where I want us to look. The results, we may need a table. We say for results, we make a table. Let me think. Some of our members are back. Yes, that is a marginable number. I think I answered Sanya. That's what I think. The difference between the turbid and a turbid solution and the precipitate. For the results, we shall talk about the extract, the nutrient we are going to test, observation, and then deduction. So we shall talk about extract A in terms of reducing sugars. We expect a certain observation and a certain deduction. Excuse me. And then vitamin C, we expect an observation and a deduction. That is for extract A. And the same for Yes, Awino, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Maybe let's pick on from there. Great, Matilda, but let's pick from there. Let's make some corrections shortly. I'm too online.